Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Oke guys, first let me introduce myself. Okay guys, my name is Takbir Ramadhansyah Wahid. You can call me Takbir. Okay. In here I want to presentation my segment from Mem. Okay. Okay, let's go. I want to presentation about principles of civil law. Principles of civil law. There are several principles that are very important in civil law. As well as legal functions in general, consisting of the following 12 principles of civil law. Next, the principle of freedom of contract. It is a principle which implies that everyone can enter into any agreement, whether it has been regulated in law or that which has not been regulated in law. That is the principle of freedom of contract. Next, the principle of consensualism. The principle of consensualism is a principle related to the birth of the covenant. Next, the principle of trust, namely the principle which implies that every person who will enter into an agreement will fulfill every achievement made between them, as the difference between criminal and civil law. And for example, next, the principle of binding strength, namely the principle which states that the agreement is only binding for the parties who bind themselves or are involved in the agreement. Next, the principle of legal equality, namely the principle which implies that legal subject who makes the agreement has the same position, rights, and obligation in law as in the example of customary law. Next, the principle of balance, namely the principle that both parties want to fulfill and carry out the promised agreement. Next, the principle of legal certainty, or asas pacta sunt servanda. That is the principle that results from an agreement and is regulated in article. Next, moral principles, namely the principle that is bound in a fair engagement, which means that a voluntary person action cannot claim that right for him to contest the achievement of the debtor in the example of positive law. Next, principle of protection, namely the principle that provides legal protection between debtors and creditors. Next, the principle of property. Wait. The principle of property, namely the principle relating to the provisions regarding the contents of the agreement required by property. Next, personality principles, namely the principle that requires a person to enter into an agreement for his own benefit. Next, the principle of good faith, namely the principle related to the implementation of the agreement. This principle states that whatever must be done by fulfilling the demands of justice and not violating property. Okay guys, maybe that's all. If I have some work, if I have some bad work, I'm so sorry. And if I have some mistake, I'm so sorry because uh, I'm a human. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.